Welcome back to AWE TV. I'm Mark Pizer, and with me is Tom Furness with HitLab International.
Right.
Tom, you are giving a talk tomorrow. The title is Being the Future. You're the keynote speaker. Give us an idea of what you want to get across in that message.
Well, I want to get across the fact that VR and AR has a history, a long history. I've been in this business for 50 years, and this is an exciting time we have right now when we have new people that have gotten involved in this, and I think it's important to have the continuum, to have the past to also inform the future. But it's interesting now that it's very difficult to really determine what the future is. I think it's difficult to see ahead. I used to pride myself that I could forecast technology in the next 10, 20 years. I can't do that now.
So my next question is, what's happening in the future? But I guess
the point is that I'm trying to make in my talk is that we don't know.
We don't know.
And we used to be able to know, but we don't know now. So the only thing we can do is be the future.
Be the future.
We are in it right now, and that we can't necessarily look at the old ways of predicting, shooting the stars with sextants and using a compass, because we can't see the horizon anymore. We can't see the stars. So what we have to do is develop a new kind of way of finding our way. And I believe that relates to what we call a new kind of sextant. I call them nextant. And the nextant is really looking inside, looking inside of the things that motivate.
So you want to get across the idea that AR, VR, everything that AWE is about has a history. You've been involved 50 years, founder of HitLab International. That, to me, is the origin of this ubiquitous UX, and how UX is so important to a lot of the products that we use, but also a lot of the products that are available and are on the expo floor here.
Yes.
Give me an idea of how your passion got you involved in creating the HitLab.
Well, I started working, and my career began when designing fighter cockpits.
Okay.
So what I had to do is figure out a way for one human to operate 50 computers.
And fast.
Flying twice the speed of sound, pulling G's at the boundaries of consciousness, and being shot at the same time. So this sort of narrows it down what you can do. You've got to get bandwidth in and out of the brain. And it was clear that we weren't doing it very well the old way. And that's where we had this pull to develop new ways to do it, like immersive, three-dimensional ways to interact, sort of something that matches our natural abilities. And that was really the pull that got us into virtual reality, augmented reality to begin with. But it's interesting that what's happened is that in the process of getting bandwidth of the brain, we began to realize that really it's about the interface.
Sure. That's what you and I see. When we open something up, I want to buy something, how am I going to interact with it? Is it going to be easy?
That's right. It's the only face that you see in a product. And anymore, nowadays, most of the products are about the same in terms of functionality. You look at the smartphones, they're all about the same in terms of functionality. What differentiates products now is the likability of the interface and how people get emotionally connected to this. So it goes way beyond the traditional perceptual and psychomotor skills. We're getting into an emotional connection. And the UX, or the user experience, is what it's all about now.
That may seem like a difficult boundary to cross. I'm sure everything that your students learn at the HitLab have to come across of having this technology and turning it into a soulful experience, right? How difficult is that? Like, give me an idea of how you approach that learning point with your students.
It is difficult, and one of the things that I feel that we have done in the past that doesn't work too well is be in this technology push mode. In other words, we've built this new gadget, and now we want to apply it somehow. We want to stuff it down the throats of the users and things like that. This is the way we used to work, the way the telephones were designed and the bell system and things like that in the olden days. They just sort of made this thing and we had to use it. We had to adapt to it. But I think we're at a point now where it's more important to think about the applications and let the applications pull the problem. So with my students, I get them to ask sort of three questions. The first question is, what if? What if you could?
What if
you could do this? What if you could help blind to see? What if you could help old people to have a new way of contributing to society?
Blue sky thinking.
All these blue sky thinking. But then you also add the second question, which is, so what?
Right.
What difference is it going to make
Right.
for this? But then the third question is, why not?
Sure.
And that's to get started with it. And I think that is so important to use the pull, because what that does is sort of necessity is the mother of invention. And when you start working on the problems, you aren't in the mode of stuffing technology. You're not in terms of pushing the technology into something. You're in the mode of saying, okay, what is going to work?
Sure.
And you look at the array of technologies available, then you configure it so that you develop something that actually helps that person solve that particular pervasive problem. So I try to operate more in the pull mode, looking at applications, the end game, and let that sort of inform the way we need to configure the technology.
Sure.
Now, you have to have the technology to begin with, so you still have to have the push. And often, a lot of our technology comes from the fact that we can do it.
Sure.
Not that we need to do it, but we can do it.
Yeah.
And so I believe it's the creative tension between the push and the pull is what we need in order to solve problems and get products out there that
and
make a difference.
Be the future.
Yes, be the future.
You have to be comfortable with the in-between. The past existed, we have this technology, how do we apply it, and then we can move forward.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing your talk tomorrow with everything you discussed. I think there's a lot that the companies and the attendees here can learn from you, because there's a lot of technology on this floor, and there has to be that great use case, but it really comes down to the end user.
Yes.
Who's going to use this?
It does.
And does it solve a problem?
Yes. And one of the things that I want to try to discuss with this community tomorrow is their engagement with us in bringing these worlds together, the old with the new. And I'm going to be talking about this virtual world society that I'm trying to get organized. That is really a not-for-profit community that brings together the pioneers with the new adventurers to make the world a better place.
Okay. Well, look forward to seeing it. Again, Tom Furness is with me. I'm Mark Pizer. Welcome to AWE TV, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thanks.